Ken and I have pre-cut, pre-drilled everything that we possibly can do because we're filming this, and we want to, do this as neatly as we can to get the filming done properly. You will take longer to do this because you'll be doing one step at a time. We're trying to get everything going so that we can do things in parallel rather than in sequence. So this is the top of the tripod. I think we call it the head. And as you can see, we've drilled the central hole and the holes to and countersunk them so we can put the parts that hold the leg on there. So I'm going to do that now. We glue them, clamp them, let them dry, and then we finish drilling the pilot holes. But then we're going to do some of these things right away. So here we go, and we've marked here, and we have to make sure we always do it right. This is going to be the part that holds the leg on. So this is going to go right smack here.
Now, and you have those outlined. I don't know how well it shows up on the...
Yeah, it's probably hard to see them, but... Come on, glue. Now the idea with the glue, you have to clamp it, otherwise it's not going to...
Where's the glue?
It was coming out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm just using regular Elmer's glue. You can get Elmer's wood glue. Ken has Elmer's...
Yeah, the wood glue would be better.
But...
Would be better. And you can also get outside
right.
Wood glue.
So make sure that this is flush. And make sure that you've got the hole, as you see here, is at the bottom. Now this is upside down, of course. Okay, so we're just going to continue gluing now. You can shut it off.
Okay.
Now it's important to clamp these down. Don't forget, this is the junction. This whole head is the junction between the actual mount and the tripod legs. If this is weak, you are going to have a wobbly thing. So you want to clamp this down so that really glue is really tight.
And they're going to be those will.
Whoops.
Those will also be screwed from the other side too. Yeah.
Okay, so
that will.
Got to add more glue. Should have brought your big tube of glue.
Yeah, and my clamps.
Yeah. I was thinking about that this morning, but figured we'd be okay. Make sure you get these things that you follow the marks and get the things properly oriented, because you want these legs to stick out at 120 degrees. All right. If Ken, well, let's see, I think.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Okay, please hold that.
Let me hold it. Do it you can do it that way. I would do it the other way if I was clamping myself, but that's fine.
Okay, clamp it really tight, and then you gotta let the glue dry before we go to the next stage. Okay.
Yeah, and you got to clamp all three of them.
I have to clamp all three of them.
Not just one. Yeah.
And so Ken has to hold.
Oh,
I don't think
that's right. That's right.
Have 3 clamps.
Yeah, make sure you have enough clamps. You gotta do
another thing you can do if you don't have a lot of clamps,
one at a time.
You can do it one at a time, or you could take weights.
Yeah.
Take a bunch of cans of vegetables or something. Yeah, you see, I don't have enough. So we're just going to weight this last one down, excepting we can't now. So, well, say Levy. All right, but you see what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay, I'll turn it off. Okay.
So we've just, since I only have 2 big clamps, this is a big chunk of brass that I have for machining, and so that will work too, as long as you got enough weight on there. And then you got to wait till it dries, because after it dries, we're going to drill the 1/8" pilot hole in there, and if it's not dry, it'll just come off.
Yeah.
So you don't rush this stuff. Okay, what we're going to now do, since we're trying to get the filming done, is we're going to start putting the legs together. So if Ken will stop now for a minute, because there's a picture we have to have.
Yeah, but show them the legs.
Here's the legs that have all been pre-drilled and pre-marked so that we can do this very quickly. And it's good to put all the marks on there so you know exactly where the pieces of wood go. Now, these are drilled as you see the same way, but don't forget that they go like this. And the reason for that is so that the screws, if you held it like this, the screws would hit each other as you're coming through the other side. So make sure that you have the pairs like this so that the screw holes are correct.
To line
Now,
up.
I have already marked these, and you should have marked the legs. This is what leg 1, leg 2, and leg 3. Once you start putting this thing together, you have to keep the legs the same because everything fits. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to lay these on the floor because we need a picture that I have in the book. Okay.
Okay, you want to turn it off
Just
now?
turn it off till we get these laid out.
Okay.
These are the 3 pair of laths to make the 3 legs. And the important point to notice here is that the countersink side is on this side, and then you don't see the countersink there because when this goes on top, then you see the holes are not.
Move your head because
I'm sorry. The holes, are such that the screws won't interfere with each other.
Right.
And we've marked the top and the bottom because the top of that's the way it will go. This, by the way, is going to be, you need to get a long shot so that they see that in this one of our illustrations.
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is start gluing. I've got all these pieces. Here are the feet. I'll show you how it all is going to go together. The feet go like this. Whoops. That is the top. Wait a minute. That is the top. That's what it's supposed to be. I've got the foot on the wrong place. You're going to have to edit this a lot. All right. This is the top end. Well, this one I've got the bottom end. So, okay. The foot is going to go like this. This will be glued. Then the other ones, back up because I got to put the feet back here. And we glued here, and then it will be glued here. Then we have these spacers, 3 for each leg. And they are going to go where we have these marks. 1 here. Here. These will all be glued again and clamped and okay, and then this one goes here. This is the top right here. All right. So that's what we're going to do now, and so we'll go ahead and glue. We're not going to bother to film the gluing because you've already seen how that goes. All right, you can shut her off, Ken.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, the tripod head, those have been clamped and glued tightly. So now I'm going to do the 1/8 inch hole to finish the okie dokie.
Okay,
Now we're just going to screw this all together.
Yep.
So
Just put one in, and you can either do it by hand or use your power.
hey, give me the other screwdriver. It's got a bigger grip.
Yeah. Okay.
It's easier to screw
Screw
with.
this one right here. Okay.
Now again, it's important to make sure that everything is tight, because if it's loose, your tripod will not be sturdy, and the worst thing you can have for your mount is a wiggly mount,
Yeah.
because you can't see anything.
Now, it's also possible to over-tighten these things and to split the wood. So you might learn that lesson, which we all have. I've done that plenty of times. So,
Okay, so all we're going to do now is finishing this, and Ken can help if he turns the camera off.
no, I think I'll keep the camera on.
I think he'll help screw.
Okay, it's filming.
Okay, put the lock washer on the bottom. This goes through. Now the thing is, this has to be done right, because once the tripod is finished, you can't get to the ear anymore. So then the next thing is we put on another lock washer. And a bolt. Yeah. And then tighten it. This is going to be the vertical axis of the mount. Come on. All right, for pity's sake. And so you will tighten this down as tight as you possibly can, because this has to hold. Forever. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is put the spacer on, wherever it went. And what we're going to do is glue that on. See, the purpose of this spacer is so that that bolt can get down there. So we're going to glue this on, and then we're going to screw it down, and then the tripod head will be finished. So you can probably turn her off now.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the head completed now. This is the spacer. The yoke will slide down on this. We will have a washer down there. It will ride on that washer, and the legs go on here. So we're going to get ready to finish the legs now. But again, you see, once this is in here, you can't get to it. So you make sure it's very, very tight. Okay, off we go.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're starting to put the tripod legs on the head, and we have marked. Oops, I did that. Well, it doesn't make any difference. You got to mark the legs, so if you ever take it off, like if you're going to paint it, you have to take it all apart. Make sure it goes back the same way. So these should be very, very tight, and they are. You put a washer on the screw, and you may have to hammer it through. You can see through the hole, but it's awful hard to get it perfectly aligned. The harder this goes, the tighter it is, the better. Now, one thing that Ken bought the screws, or the bolts, partly threaded. You will have to get them so they're fully threaded. It's better to make sure that's out. Okay, then we put another washer, 1/4 inch washer on the other side, and then on goes. Now wait a minute, just a minute. How did I do this? Stop it a second. Let me run. Okay, we've got the bolt through washer, and then we put one nut on and tighten it down. You want this pretty tight. You're not going to be able to take this apart very easily. The second nut locks in the first one so that it won't come free and get loose, which can happen as you use things. There, okay. That's how we do it. So we're going to put the rest of the legs on. All right, you can
Okay.
do it now.
Okay, we're on.
Okay, we've got these pieces that are long with one hole drilled, and we drilled holes through the bottom of, or through the side of the thing here. And I've got to get the holes aligned. Where'd it go? There it is. There we are. And you slide a bolt through. And I think we still use, oh wait, what do we use?
I think you use the wing nuts.
We do.
Yeah.
We do, in case. Now, it turns out that you're probably never going to take this apart, but if you do, wing nuts are used here so you can take it apart easily. And you can tighten that down fairly tight.
Yeah. And there is a little bit of overhang. You could cut that off.
Yeah, that's just, there's
everything's
instructed
assembled.
in here to
Yeah.
cut it off. We're just
Yeah.
going to move ahead because we're filming as we're doing this. All right, where's the other bolt?
Okay, here's one of the pieces. Okay.
Give me the drill.
Yeah.
Needs to be opened up a little.
Be careful now.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off.
Yeah,
now.
that's
Okay, I got it on.
okay. All right, what we're getting ready to do is fix it so we can finish the platform. Now, the other thing about having these three extensions in the platform, that makes the tripod really, really, really sturdy, which is what you want.
Yeah.
Now, I also have marked these because they will be cut off. You can see the pencil line, I think, and when you take it out. So what I'm going to do now is, now, first of all, you see these fit pretty well. They're not going to be perfect because, exactly because these things are not perfect. So what I'm going to do is take our platform. These are the holes for the eyepieces, and
those are an inch and a
inch and a half. Yeah. The barrels are 1 3/8 inches, but the cap is much larger. Okay, that's about right. So I'll put this one on here and mark it. Now, unfortunately, Ken has to hold the camera.
But you know, you do two things at one time.
Yeah. Basically, we're going to do the same thing. So Ken can shut the camera off and help me to hold these things.
Okay.
And it's the same thing.
Okay, it's on.
Okay. When you're starting to do this, you have to set up the tripod and make sure that this is horizontal, and spread the legs and so forth. And you can put a level on this in two directions and make sure this is level. Of course, you have to do it on level ground too, otherwise, it's not going to work. But the main thing is to get this level, and so the legs are the right distance. Because once we put these platform in here, this thing is solid, and you're not going to be able to move it. So that's that part of the story. Let me see if I need to get a
Okay.
extension or not. You can kill it, Ken.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, we've got the saddle. I'll shove the thing through. Put another lock washer on. Put where's the nuts gone to? Let me get tighten this really tight. Because again, this is the horizontal axis of your telescope mount. The lock washers will help to ensure that this stuff doesn't move. Okay, same operation. that washer where it went. And another bolt. Alrighty. All right, now the next step is we take our yoke, which is now dry,
But we have to.
and we have to put some screws in it so you can shut her off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a washer on there. We've got this nut and stuff on there. This is one part of it. Might as well put the other one in. All right, now on one side, and it depends when you're left-handed or right-handed, put a washer, and then let's see, you got the other kind of nuts, didn't you?
Hmm?
You got these kind of nuts.
No, no. There should have been 4. Here they are, right here. They're right here.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
That's why I couldn't find them. All right, you put 2 guys on one side and lock them. Now this is going to be fine. This, you don't want this tight to here because you want this to rotate, but what you do, you take 2 of these guys. Do I have the second one here? Is it outside? Well, what you do is hold one, and I'll use pliers, and then lock it against it. That way they won't rotate and come loose. Okay, then the other side we have a washer and a wing nut, and this is what you'll use to tighten or loosen to make it as tight or as loose as you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we've got the finished yoke and the saddle here done. And as we make, you take one bolt with the washer, lock washer, shove it through here, and then lock that down with another bolt and another lock washer, and do the same for the other side. Then you slide the 2 saddle parts in. On this side, you put 2 nuts, you put a washer and 2 nuts to lock that so it doesn't come loose. This side, you put a washer and a wing nut. This is what you'll use to tighten it. Now we're ready to assemble the whole thing. And it's very simple, except I got to go get a washer. Do that later. I got to get another eyepiece anyway. All right, so this just slides down and shut her off as soon as I'm done, because I'll run down and get the other washer.
Okay. Okay. It's
Okie
on.
dokie, we're in the final assembly now. The yoke is up here. Put this on, and this is what you do to tighten it so that you get the right amount of friction so you can move the telescope freely, but still, and same with this axis. Now, the last thing is sliding your telescope in here, and it doesn't make any difference which end you start on. You need to find the balance point though. The balance point is about there.
And you might want to mark that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that with a pencil. Pencil is. Pencil. You did say you bring a pencil, didn't you? No, it's going in the observatory. love filming me when I'm walking around, don't you?
Of course.
All right, this can be erased if you want to after.
No, they can see your observatory and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Helvelius telescope right,
All right,
here.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, back to Alan.
Heck is my mark. There it is. All right. Whoops. That eyepiece won't fit through there. See how the eyepieces go in their little holder?
Yeah, the one side is tighter than the other.
That's fine. You want it tight. And then I have the okay, now I need two other things.
That's the eyepieces. This is the whole Helvelius telescope that Alan built. This is his favorite scope. So, yeah.
As it turns out, this is the tie wrap that we use. I only have one, so I can only put it on one side. But you see what you do. Now, to do this properly, because you need to have, this telescope has to really be tight in here. And even though there's quite a bit of pressure, it's not enough. And to properly get it tight, I have to make sure I know which end. Because I don't know why. Okay. What I do is I bend it so that it goes around the corners. Otherwise,
Yeah, that may not be long. Is that long enough?
yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Your yoke is wider than mine, son of a gun.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll work right now.
Yeah, it'll work right now. Basically, you have to see. It turns out that we made this too wide, and that's will correct that in the manual. This should be a little bit narrower. In fact, in the prototype over here, you can see how this is done. This is a slightly shorter focal length, but I made this telescope some time ago, and it was the motive for making this one. So you tie these in and get it really, really tight. So that is your telescope. Now, let's see how it works. Wow. I always like to look at those rocks up there.
And you can sight along the tube to point it.
Now it'll be stiff in the beginning. Right now this draw tube comes out a little stiff. But here we go. Take a look, Ken.
Okay, hold on. Looks pretty good.
You have to be that far away?
Oh yeah, right there. That's where I have to be.
Wow. Let me see how far I am.
Yeah.
Because I thought my nose just touched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my nose just touches it, and then it's exactly the right distance.
Yeah.
You sure you're
Yeah, that's where I got the full image.
Huh.
Well, I'm holding the camera too, so I
Yeah.
need to put all that down to.
Well, go ahead. Yeah, we're done filming
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.